Okay, so we've obviously covered a lot of material today in terms of both kind of why someone would want to barter and then how would they deal with it accounting and tax wise, and just a few other topics. But I guess one of the things that I'm sure some people are wondering is, okay, across Ontario, if they're in their market and they say, okay, well, I'm looking for a barter exchange, either for myself or for members or clients or friends and family, who knows, what should they be looking for in a barter exchange?
So like what if it's obviously a CPA listening in, obviously they're dealing with a lot of small businesses, how would they advise one of their clients on what to look for in a barter company? Sure. Really great question. I'm just going to talk to the audience here about that, because they're actually advising these businesses in their sphere of influence about how this bartering might work into their business. So first and foremost, you want to make sure that the barter exchange is registered with the CRA as a designated barter company under the Excise Tax Act. Number two, making sure that barter exchange has a strong transaction, what we call kind of velocity of money, velocity of barter credits, making sure that there's actual transactions happening on a regular basis between all the members. In other words, it's an active economy of participating businesses. We want to make sure that they're investing into technology. Are they taking their performance commission and reinvesting it into technology to make things easier for businesses to connect and conduct barter transactions? Reach is super important. Are they in multiple markets across the country? Are they expanding? Are they showing growth on that growth curve sort of thing? To make sure that any business that joins that barter ecosystem actually can, market their goods and services into new markets or acquire goods and services, travel, that sort of thing. The number of members, do they have one member? Are they just starting out? Do they have 10? Do they have 4,000 like BarterPay? And growing, a growing barter system is a very healthy barter system because members are being attracted, into that sort of that ecosystem to do business. Are they partnered with organizations? Do they have partnerships in place? Partnerships are super important because by dealing and having strong partnerships on the provincial or national level, it's actually helping that barter exchange grow and expand. So it goes back to the whole growth side.
And part of the whole growth side is that obviously requests come up from businesses, and no barter exchange is going to have everything all the time.
Exactly.
And so if they're not growing and have somebody or people who are in place to grow the network, then they can't fulfill those requests that aren't available within the system already.
Exactly.
So it is a very important thing to have the growth.
Super important. Barter coaches. Is there a very strong ratio of barter coaches to members? As much as we're a technology company that kind of runs our back end, sort of the exchange of barter credits.
Now, when you say a ratio, that's obviously internal. That's what we mean by it, but they might not know.
Yeah, I think 150 businesses in a portfolio for a barter coach is the perfect sort of number. 150 to 200 max. That's what a barter coach can handle properly in building relationships. Strong relationships.
Yeah. Obviously, as you're getting into bigger businesses, that might drop down.
It actually drops down.
Sort of the small, medium size.
Absolutely, yeah. So you want to make sure that there's a strong team behind, within the barter ecosystem to make sure that every business is getting taken care of in that 150 to 200 per barter coach sort of ratio. Is there a strong advertising and marketing department inside the barter system? Because obviously one of the most important things that we do as a barter exchange is actually help market the goods and services of our members to other members to bring in that incremental revenue. So is there a marketing or sort of graphic design part function within that barter system? It's obviously going to create a much healthier
whatever method they have for marketing internally, basically the services. They've got a good model where that works.
Absolutely, exactly. Media, are they being talked about in the media? I mean, earned media on stories about the whole sort of bartering ecosystems is a strong indication that they're making themselves heard. They're making some waves in the media in a very positive way, and obviously it's a story to be told, right? That type of thing. So Google Barter Canada or whatever, and see the stories that are in the media of certain companies. Longevity, how long have they been in business?
Yeah.
Right? Are they brand new? Not say a bad thing, but a barter company that's been around for a long time and has that longevity, that history, that just they've been through it all kind of thing, right? And they've kind of stuck with it, and they're on all these other things, the growth curve and whatnot. And I'll end off with social impact. Is that barter exchange also helping to give back to the community? Right, that's super important. It kind of completes the whole cycle, and so that's kind of the general list that I kind of run through when I'm talking to somebody. It's just making sure that most of those boxes are checked off, and you should be in pretty good shape. So on behalf of Gavin and myself, we really appreciate you spending the last hour with us to learn about organized bartering. If you want to get in touch with us, feel free to reach out at any time. We'd be glad to hop on a quick call and have a further chat.
So first, can you tell me about Imagine Canada?
Sure. We are a national registered charity whose business is to work with on behalf of Canada's 86,000 registered charities, 90,000 nonprofits, and 7,000 social entrepreneurs to make sure the operating environment is as good as it can possibly be so that they can deliver services to Canadians.
How did you get involved with Barter Pay?
Well, it was actually a conversation through a mutual business colleague. A company that we have used for many years on the public relations front was also doing work with Barter Pay. When they had heard about the concept, thought, I wonder if it would actually work for charities. And so just did an introduction. And then once we sort of got John and Debbie's enthusiasm and really the vision for what they were trying to accomplish, it just went from there.
What is it about that vision and their enthusiasm that made you want to get involved and work with them?
Well, I think, first of all, it's always great to work with people who are passionate about what they do. But more importantly, it was incredibly smart. And as we seek to find new ways for businesses to participate with charities and nonprofits, this was just a really well thought out instrument or mechanism that can open up an entire new way of doing business between the private sector and the not-for-profit sector. And in a world where charities are struggling for the resources they need to deliver the services for Canadians, having an entire new avenue open up is just amazing.
How exciting is it to have a system like this that takes business waste and downtime and actually put it to good use?
Well, it's interesting because quite often one of the challenges for businesses is that they're either too busy, they don't want to deeply discount their profit leaders, but finding a system that actually makes money for them in areas where they might have written things off. Makes great fiscal sense. So it removes a barrier. It removes a barrier to that kind of conversation. And in many cases, the services that they provide, the products that they might have to move are the kinds of things that charitable organizations are looking for.
How does it feel tonight to hear these sort of stories and see how this local community has been impacted by Barter Pay It Forward?
Well, the word for me is hopeful, because lots of great ideas start somewhere. And because the mandate of Imagine Canada is nationwide, to witness, well, I call it the birth, even though it's been around for a while, but really the birth of the Barter Pay It Forward component, it's very hopeful to think that celebrations like these could be taking place in different parts of the country in the not too distant future.
Can you see more and more charities getting on board with something like this? I mean, we heard such great feedback from the ones who were here tonight.
Absolutely. And I think hopefully that's one of the contributions that an organization like Imagine Canada can make, where we can help spread the word amongst charities, because they're always looking for new and innovative ways of doing business. And I think it's just a matter of time before they hear about this and say, this is the kind of thing that would really work for us.
Anything else you want to add?
Well, just that we're incredibly grateful for the vision that's been shown. And the other thing that I find really intriguing about this is that the marriage of Barter Pay and the Barter Pay It Forward Foundation is building this kind of thinking into the DNA of the company. If we have more companies in Canada who think intentionally about how they work with the community, this will strengthen Canada's charitable sector.